Alrighty then. Let's take a look at this viewer count thing I've got. Streamlabs. Let's see here. Viewer count. That's what it was. Ah, okay. Cool. Got it. Okay, and we are good to go. I will wait until we get people, of course, to say what we're doing. But we are doing something with the ogre. Virus and headshots. So lightning is not one of them. Okay, good. So how do we need to set our trap up? We need arcane brim. We need lightning laser. Let's get empty rift scroll. We could use tar. And mana potion. Birds out. Cage. Alright, let's do that. Where are we at here? Okay. So that'll be our setup. Let's make sure we got arcane brim. We are going to be testing arcane damage. That is. We're going to need to run a couple of tests here. Matter of fact, I don't want to add additional lasers, do I? Let's actually do that. Let's take a look at the ceiling lasers. Yeah, let's do that. You know, the map that might be easier for this would be split stair, but I would have to glitch the game to endless mode for all modes. So we'll see if we can. Let's see if we can get something good going here. Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of the ogres from this lane, bring him to this lane, stone him, set up a little damage box, and then we'll see how much damage he takes. Now we can't do trap damage to him because we want to look at the trap damage. As a matter of fact, I may also need to. Oh my god, we can't do any damage to the ogre himself either.
There are enemies in our rift room.
So that's why we need to. Okay, we do want to take care of the. Probably. Yeah.
They're almost there.
Let's go, ogre. The only person we need.
Enemies at the rift.
I don't think we're gonna lose with this amount of stuff. Okay, so we've got this. Now we need to set up. We just need to set up the lasers actually. Oh well. Okay, hang on. That didn't do too well, but that's okay. I think we can still figure this out. All right, so you got 400 health, right? We know that. Question is, how quickly does he die from the lasers, lightning lasers? Bam. Okay. So we got that. All right, now we're going to. Actually, let's run that again. Let's run that again. Try. Because he did take a little bit of damage, and I didn't start recording before that. What we're going to do is we're going to look at how fast and how much, or I guess how much damage it does per second. And then we're going to get him to run across the arcane and then take lightning damage and see how that changes it. And of course, see how much damage he takes from arcane, because ogres don't take any bonus from arcane or from lightning. So we can use both of those to kind of figure out what arcane does and how effectively it does it. We also have the wand to give an arcane debuff. We're gonna try and use that after we've got an idea of what the arcane brim does. We're gonna use the wand to see if it still holds up. Okay, good. Take care of that archer, that guy. So make sure the ogre does not get hurt at all.
There are enemies in our rift room.
Okay. Just the one ogre as well.
They're entering the rift.
Oh. Okay. As long as we get the ogre to come with us. All right.
They're almost there. More enemies in the rift.
There we go. Okay.
Enemies at the rift.
Now we're going to start recording. You walk through it. Okay.
They're almost there.
We'll try and make that work without having to redo it. Okay. There. Alright.
Dead.
I gotta alt tab out of that. Biggest pro. Back to game. Well, we know it does 400 damage, right? We just need to figure out how quickly it does the 400 damage. So we don't need to know how much the trap damage does. But we'll go ahead and let it finish. I'm pretty sure it does 400. I'm sure we know that. But while that's doing its thing, I'm going to open this. And
watch out. Our enemies have broken through again.
when does he die? He dies. There. Okay. He starts taking damage. Fortunately here, but I think he like continues moving just slightly after that. So we're going to have to add just a little bit of time, I think. Figure that out. Okay.
They're almost there.
So if we take the time that he took damage, we'll just kind of leave that up there.
There are enemies in our rift room.
Be about right here, I believe.
Our rift is failing.
GG, no ring.
Let's just make sure that he took 400 trap damage. Didn't, and we'd have to figure something else out. He does, yeah. Okay. So he takes 400 trap damage from that, as we predict. Just get him back in to take more lightning damage. Let's see here. To kind of full screen this area. It's interesting. It looks like he has the electric debuff even when he's not actually taking damage, because he came out of being stoned over here and he's not taking damage while he's stoned. As soon as he comes out of being stoned, he like gets the electric debuff going. So that's pretty peculiar. Okay, so he's right here is when he transitions back into it. So somewhere over here, he took a small sliver. Like there, I think, is when he stopped taking it. We're going to go ahead and cut it like right here. So get rid of this middle piece. So this is how long it took him. So it's about 20 seconds, basically. Yeah, it's 20 seconds to take 400 damage. So that's how much the electric does. Now, if we take a look at what we have already for the fire upgrade. I'll go to that. The fire upgrade, we've got... I'll bring this over here, show you what I'm doing. We've got 20 damage per second. So 400... is that still 20 damage per second? 400 divided by 20. Oh, yeah, duh. Of course it is. Okay, so yes. So it's 20 damage no matter what per second. Now we'll see what the Arcane debuff does with him with Arcane Brimstone. We're gonna have him run across the Brimstone onto Tar, and on the Tar is where we're gonna have the lightning pillars. And what I kind of want to see is, does the Arcane debuff, does it affect it with like one trigger of another elemental damage, or does it affect it for a period of time? How exactly does that work? And we're going to use the Arcane Staff as well to see if we can, there's like a stacking debuff. I don't think there is, but we'll take a look at that as well. Okay, so for this one, when we bring him over here, we're going to do something like this. Like that. And we're gonna have him try and run over this. And we may actually do barricades. Let's do some barricades. I'm not using that. So we can do like a cade here, and that way it's easier to get him to line up on stuff. And to get hit by stuff as well, right? Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that. Alright.
Ready to fight.
And this is how I find stuff out about the wiki. This level in particular is really good for testing stuff because you get Earth Elementals from the top gate. And as a matter of fact, an Earth Lord. And they don't take any bonus damage from fire. So when you test fire traps, that's one of the better places to do that. And it's endless, of course, which is kind of necessary. Okay, I think I've actually taken enough of these guys out to not need
There are enemies in our rift room.
to not need the Rift Scroll to be used anyways. Okay. Let's go, Ogre Boy.
Enemies at the rift.
And when we run backwards, we run slower. But you can turn around and sprint away from ogres when they sprint at you, and you'll be faster than they are. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stun him one more time. We're going to place this, and we're gonna place this, and we're gonna place this. Okay, and we're going to look at that. Holy crap. Okay, we're gonna do that again because that went a little bit too quick for me, and I did not record. That looks like it's on a timer. Oh, he died so quick.
All right, let's play.
I wasn't expecting that. He died real quick. Huh.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate.
And we'll let the archers get over here. Ogre hasn't been hit.
Enemies at the rift.
This is true, and that's kind of ridiculous, you know?
The rift. There are enemies in our rift room.
Very good.
There we go.
More enemies
Okay,
in the
we're
rift.
recording.
We only have half our rift points remaining.
Well, and he dodged it.
Who's next?
Is that still faster? What's going on exactly? Jimmy, thanks for asking. I am testing ARCANE. So in the tooltip, before you start a match, you have like tips that show up. And they mention that ARCANE has enemies take extra damage from elemental sources. Now I have gathered the information that it also increases other arcane sources. So what we're doing is we're testing that. Testing to see how much it actually improves the damage. Okay. So maybe it's still... Maybe I didn't... Since he didn't... he took some damage from the Arcane Brim, right? Oh, we need to figure out how much the Arcane Brim does as well. But the rest of this, it looks like he's still on par with the rest of his damage taken. So he's got 400 health. And that would have been about... Is that faster? And so what I'm trying to figure out here is... Yeah, I think that's faster. I think Arcane does a debuff for a duration. Is what I'm gonna guess with this footage right here. Okay. So we're gonna retry that. We do need to see how much the Arcane Brim does. So we're going to actually test that, and then we're gonna come back to this.
Let's do this.
Come back to the lightning lasers. Since the lightning lasers is very constant, and it gives an exact amount of damage done, they're very good to use in testing.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
Before that, I was having to test the fire damage with the fire bracer, which
Here they come.
was a challenge to test. But it allows me to find enemies' health points, like how much HP an enemy has. It was really nice to do. To fill out the wiki and all that. I didn't expect to have so many viewers, though. That's cool. I appreciate everybody stopping by, you know?
There.
Okay, cool.
They're entering the rift. Enemies at the rift.
Now, this we don't need to do any kind of recordings on or whatever. All we need to do is have him walk over that.
There are enemies in our rift room.
Okay, just walk over that.
Here's where they will fall.
So that's a trigger
More
and a
enemies in the
burn.
rift.
And so we'll see how much that trigger and burn combo is. And then we'll lose. 9 viewers. You guys are wanting me to watch tests. Now this is the before lunch stream. So the after lunch stream is going to be probably actually playing stuff.
Done already.
More enemies in the rift.
Yes. I
But
am
this before lunch stream, I'm doing some testing.
More enemies on the way.
Okay, I just wait till we lose, and we'll see how much damage that does.
Look out! Our defenses have been breached again.
Doing so, find out how much the brimstone does. Well, okay, maybe it does a total of 40 damage. We'll see if the arcane does the same. as it should. Maybe I tested this already.
They're almost there.
We'll give it a look.
We only have half our rift points remaining. Stop them quickly. We made it.
Because then we can subtract that amount from the damage lasers do, or start at that point, and then see how fast it is for someone to die after getting affected by one
Stop them
and walking into the
quickly.
other. And then my other question is, and I don't think this is possible, if they can be affected by 2 lasers at the same time, which I don't think is possible given the hitbox of an enemy. It might be possible, just very unlikely. Okay, so yeah, 40 damage. So the initial hit and the burn afterwards, 40 damage total, no matter what. Okay. So it's safe to say that the arcane damage that it takes, the debuff initially, does not affect the burn debuff afterwards, or it just does an initial 40 and doesn't do any burn afterwards. But I'm pretty sure it does a burn.
No better
Like-
spot than here.
Yeah, like 85% sure it actually does a burn. Okay, let's see if we can get
Prepared as
this
always.
figured out here. Should theoretically just be one more test. One of the things you do have to do with enemies to see their hitbox is to,
Enemies are preparing
you know, have
to
your
breach one of our
sights
gates.
on them.
They've broken through a gate.
You'll have more views when this game's released. Oh, I know. I know. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, I don't want to accidentally hit the ogre there, so we're just going to
They're almost there.
try to not die from archers. That's okay. He isn't going to get hit by that. Alright, we're good.
Enemies at the rift.
Yeah, I've noticed since Robot has released
Enemies at the rift.
Orcs Must Die 3 on Steam and on PlayStation, I've been getting a lot more views and subscribers.
There are enemies in our rift room.
Okay,
We only
ogre's
have
coming
half our
over.
rift points remaining.
Hurt me, and boom.
Hold
Okay,
them back.
so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna come up here. We're gonna stone him. Cord, stone staff, and boom. Okay, hit him again. I'm looking at the timer. I don't think so. I really don't think that it. I think it's just an initial hit.
Another threat
Okay.
vanquished.
And it should still be 400 damage. So let's take a look at the timing of all of that. So my personal theory on arcane damage is that it only affects the next, like, individual source of damage, like the next individual tick damage. That's my individual theory. Okay, so where is he at here? Yeah, because look at that. He's not taking very much damage at all, and it took him, I think, about that amount of time to get his health reduced. So here he steps on it, and he essentially takes 40 damage. We're gonna wait until he gets into the lightning. And there he loses the debuff, and I think he's been taking, yeah, I think he takes lightning damage, and that tick of lightning damage does bonus damage, but then the rest of it is just normal lightning damage. That makes sense. Because look at how much his health drops. And then it never drops by that large margin again. So we go from like here. Actually, how quick was that? So if that's 40 damage, essentially, you know, in 3 seconds. We got the rest of this. Let's see. In total. that on there. Surprising, we're actually still looking at, we're actually looking at more. 21 seconds, that's weird. Maybe the lasers, well, it's 40 damage per second, and then the brimstone takes more than a second to do a total of 40 damage. So, I can definitively say that, probably not as good to use Arcane as one might think. Okay, let's give it another test, though. We do have something else to test Arcane with. And that would be the weapons. It's weapon, right? Yeah, the flame bracer. So I have the damage on the flame bracer. On the shoulder. Up, up. Ah, Birdie wants to join on the shoulder. All right. Now what we're going to do is retry scenario. We're going to use flame burst. Actually, I don't remember. Let's see. Increases primary damage. Increases secondary length and duration. Okay. Let's see if we have any upgrades on it. I'm not sure. Let me take a look and see if I have the damage upgrade or not, and then we'll have to figure that out. Now, this is unfortunate because in order to test this, I need to not kill anything with either traps. Well, can I do with traps? I know it does 40 damage, right? Yeah, okay, I can kill with traps. Just can't kill with weapons. Alright. Reduce mana cost. And sure. Secondary. Okay. So we know that it does the single target primary damage to 78. I tested it on this map. And apparently to all enemies in the AoE. We're going to go ahead and verify this real quick. It shouldn't take too long. We're just going to have the ogre pull off from the rest of the group. Hit him once with this and let them do that. In the meantime, however, we can allow traps to do some killing. So get rid of that, and we're going to get the grinder. Sure.
This should be fun.
We just can't use weapons to do damage.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate. Here they come.
Yeah, I guess we also need the ogre not to take any damage, huh? Well, he took damage from that one. There's another ogre. Either that or we can just use the Earth Elemental from the second wave. If we can get the other ogre, that'd be... Oh, actually, it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, it doesn't matter. We can use this ogre. Because it's going to calculate the weapon damage differently. Just need to make sure we don't get the heavy orc. I was going to say half orc, the heavy orc over there, in on this. There we go. Okay, that's all we need. Then we can lose.
How dare you?
More enemies in the rift. There are enemies in our rift room. We only have half our rift points remaining. Our rift is failing.
I don't think we're gonna need to sell those, but
More enemies on the way.
it's just out of habit. All right, and a quick tip or trick in this game is if you die, the enemies gain what's called Rift Rush, and they move faster during that Rift Rush.
Oh, snap.
Which makes you lose faster,
It's not
if
the end.
losing is what you're trying to do. Of course.
My pride is injured.
And that's what we are trying to do.
Ready to fight.
All right.
Enemies at the rift.
I don't really want to get involved with their pathing, so we'll just let them run up there.
Hold them back. The rift has
An
been
easy victory.
compromised.
All right, let's take a look and see how much damage our weapon did. So we have damage from traps and damage dealt, and we just take the difference, and that's how much damage we did. And that is difference of 100. Okay, so where did I get 78 from the last time I did this? I don't know, but 100 makes a lot more sense. But okay. We'll have to take a look at that a little bit later. However, what we want to do is... mouse button. Is we want to see how much damage they take with the ARCANE debuff. Alright. So we want to do the same thing, except this time give them the debuff, which I guess we don't need. Yeah, they can take damage for that as well. We don't necessarily need them not to take damage.
Perhaps one of these.
Enemies are
Oh, I didn't
preparing
have
to
enough for
breach
the slow,
one of our
yeah.
gates. The door is down.
I just realized I don't have enough money. I won't have enough money for the ARCANE debuff thing. Okay. I'll do better, I promise.
I'm ready to start.
There we go. That's what we'll do. Just that.
Enemies are preparing to breach
And
one of
again,
our
I'll pull him over
gates.
here and have him run across the ARCANE debuff, and as he does, toss the fire stuff at him.
Here they come.
And he comes out unscathed.
Enemies at the rift. They're entering the rift. There are enemies in our rift room. More enemies in the rift.
Alright, good.
They're almost there. We only have half our rift points remaining.
Well, I can tell that was definitely more damage,
Quickly,
but how much we don't know yet. But I can definitely tell that was more damage.
stop them quickly.
Okay.
Enemies at the rift.
They did not pass.
More enemies on the way.
And these minions should kill me, I think. I think the Earth Elemental's 3 or 4. The other
Knocked down, but I'll get back up.
4 guys will
I return from the
take the
dead.
life out. Okay.
Good news. I landed on my hair. Guess who's back? Ow.
What? No ice cream? There are enemies in our rift room. Our rift is fading.
And I'm getting some good information as to when the Rift Rush starts.
The rift has been compromised.
We win again.
And the question is, how fast do they run when Rift Rush happens? And is it exponential? All that. Okay, so we've confirmed last time that the Fire Bracer left mouse button, which is the standard attack, does 100 damage. And now we've got 115 damage due to the Arcane debuff. Okay. Interesting. Now, what's interesting about that is that I found the same numbers when I looked at the Arcane Ballista. It did 100 damage base, and then it did 115 after the debuff. Okay. Now the next question is if they stack. So what we're going to do is use the Scepter, or we can use actually the new thing. So I haven't figured out how much damage it does yet. We can use maybe the Scepter. It's going to give us probably a better idea, unless... Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this Arcane Staff thing here. What are these upgrades? Rate of fire. Okay. So it doesn't really matter. Let's auto attack with the Arcane Staff and see how much damage it does. Of course, we're going to need the Ogre for that. We're going to use that.
Let's begin.
That's a fancy flip.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate. Here they come.
Okay. Just need a single regular
They're almost there.
non-lethal attack on the Ogre. There we go.
They're entering the
So we'll
rift.
see how much damage that one attack does, and we're going to do it twice. We're going to do up to, I think, 5 attacks is what we're going to try and do.
Enemies at the
Just
rift.
to make sure that it's consistent, because one of the things I found out with the Scepter is that when I attacked, it was either doing 11 or 12 damage.
More enemies, and we only have half
And
our
I don't know
rift
if the
remaining.
attack was
Our rift is failing.
like activating the debuff had already happened for bonus damage, or what. I'm not sure what happened there.
They're almost there. Hold them back.
So we're gonna see if this is consistent, if it's a certain amount of damage and then every attack after that's a certain amount of damage, or if it increases. Scepter seemed to jump between 11 and 12. So we'll take a look at stats. So we did 20 damage. Okay. Now we will go again. We'll attack consecutively 2 times.
I'm ready.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate. Here they come.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to water the plants. I'll have to do that during lunch as
They're
well.
almost there.
Okay. Hit him twice. We're expecting the second hit to do more damage. We'll see how much more.
Enemies at the rift. We only have half our rift points remaining. Hold them back. Our rift is failing.
GG, no raid.
Yep. 43, so it's an extra 3 damage. All right. Let's see if that's cumulative or if that is just the flat amount that it goes up. Test again. But this way we know that if we do the arcane staff
This should be
before they run onto the brimstone, the arcane brimstone, that 20 of that damage will be the staff itself.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. The door is down.
For this, I might need to get a little bit.
Here they come.
I may actually need to pull him so I can make sure I get 3 actual attacks off. In which case, I may not need. I'm probably gonna not want to lose right away.
They're almost there.
Yeah, we're gonna try not to lose.
There are enemies in our rift room. Enemies at the rift. They're entering the rift.
Need the ogre. Come on, ogre boy. Okay, we're gonna get the next ogre then, I guess.
They're almost there.
Yeah, you guys not. Thanks.
More enemies in the rift.
There we go.
We only have half our rift
All right,
points
good.
remaining. Hold them back. The rift has been compromised. Stop them quickly.
Okay. 3 attacks.
There are enemies in our rift room. Stop them quickly.
Okay.
They're almost there. Our rift is
easy
fading.
victory.
We'll let them through and we'll see how much 3 consecutive
More
attacks
enemies on the way.
does as far as damage.
The enemy army is attacking
What am I
on
expecting?
another
I'm
front.
expecting
Watch out. Our enemies have broken through again.
66 damage. $20 for the initial, and then 23 after that for each hit, because each hit will use the debuff for extra damage, and then do the debuff or apply the debuff itself as well. And then it won't go above 23 bonus damage. So it's the bonus damage of 3, I guess, and it will never increase past that. Is my theory. Let's see if it is correct. 66. Okay. Then we're gonna do one more, and this time we're gonna expect to see 89 damage. We're gonna do 4 attacks and expect to see 89 damage. And then we'll have a better understanding of Arcane.
It's time to begin.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate. Enemies at the rift.
I'm gonna dodge the arrows this time and see if we can use
There
up.
are enemies in our rift room.
Use that to pull the ogre. There we go.
They're entering the rift.
Ow.
They're almost
That's
there.
okay. That's actually just fine.
More enemies in the rift.
Stop.
We only have half our rift points
1,
remaining.
2, 3, 4. Yeah. Again, we're expecting 89 to be the number.
Stop them quickly. There are enemies in our rift room. Hold them
For
back.
the order.
More enemies on the way. Our enemies are breaking through elsewhere.
Wonder why the elevation
Our defenses have been breached again.
increases in this one spot. Put traps here,
they
right?
come.
Peculiar. Okay.
Enemies at the rift. Hold them back.
That was invigorating.
What am I doing? A lot of orcs escape. Yeah, they're all gonna go into the countryside and pillage. No, I'm testing Arcane to see. Yeah, so we got 89. That's what we expected. So the scepter has the initial damage of 20, and then plus 3 damage whenever they're debuffed by Arcane. So it's a flat amount. And if we know that, then it's probably the same for all the traps. Okay, now we're gonna retry, and this time I'm gonna hit him with the Arcane, the scepter, as well as the brimstone.
Let's have fun.
Okay, so let's figure that out. And this is the pre-launch stream, so this is a testing stream. We're just testing Arcane, how the damage works with elements. We're just kind of trying to get a baseline of what the debuff is and how strong it is. Currently, that's what we're doing.
They're almost there. They're entering the rift.
Okay, I think we
Enemies
are
at the rift.
good there. Let's get the ogre. Go.
There are enemies in our rift room.
Yes. Unfortunately, they have to lose in order for me to get, or I have to lose in order for me to get numbers. So orcs do have to go through. Okay,
They're
so
almost there.
let's think about this. Do I do the
We only have half our
Arcane
rift
Brim
points
first? I think so, right? What we're going to do is expect us to have the 40 plus. Oh, did I miss him? I think I did. 40 plus 23, so 63 damage, I think, is what we'd expect. Nope, don't go back, don't go back. Just come to me. Yeah, we expect to see 23 damage unless I accidentally hit him twice. I may have. In which case, if I hit him twice, I'm expecting 86 damage.
Are we done already?
And then that'll tell us that
on the way.
the debuffs don't stack. Think.
Enemies are attacking on another front.
Doesn't tell us.
They've breached another door. Here they come.
We'll see. See what the numbers end up being. I'm also curious. The Arcane Brim being 40, what if we debuff them before they hit the Arcane Brim? How much does that add to it?
They're almost there. Our rift is fading.
For the Order.
Okay. Damage dealt 86, so we hit him twice. Okay, and that's also good because it tells us that the debuff itself is not does not take time. It's not like a time limit. It's just like each trigger of damage does the bonus damage, which is good. It's good for us to know. Okay. So now we need to test one more thing with the Fire Bracer, and that is Arcane debuff once, Fire Bracer twice, to see what it does. Or no, we can't do that because fire does damage over time. What can we use? Lightning Staff? Yeah, let's try Lightning Staff. Let's see how much damage that does. And let me pull up the wiki, see what I have put on there. Not bad. I'm eventually going to link all of those elements and stuff to the respective traps and weapons, but just haven't gotten there yet. Staff. Okay, so I've got single target damage doing 37. I think I may have goofed that up. I think I used that on orcs and not ogres when I first did this. This is one of the first things I did. But we're going to test. Okay. And let's take a look at our upgrades for it. I guess we could use broadsword, but nah. Where is lightning staff? There it is. Increase secondary charge, secondary tank chains, and stuns. It doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So none of those are damage increases. So let's run that through. Yeah, I do still need this. I don't really need that anymore. So we can have... Did we have what weapon? Swap. I already have that. I don't know. Oh, I got rid of tar. I don't need tar. Chain staff. Let's use a health trinket. Why not?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So we're gonna pull the ogre. We're gonna hit him with lightning staff, or we'll just hit him with lightning staff where he's at and see how much damage it does.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate.
Can't wait till Orcs Must Die 3 is on Xbox Series X and 4K Orcs Killing. Yeah. Well, so what you're watching right now is the Stadia graphics of 1080p max because I'm not paying for Stadia Pro.
They're almost there.
Okay, see how much damage that one attack did. We're actually gonna attack him twice just in case lightning has a weird element where it buffs itself. I don't think it does, but we're just gonna test it twice. But yeah, you know, one of the reasons I'm going away from Stadia is not only because I think my computer can handle 4K and all that, but also because I'm not a huge fan of the idea of the fact that you buy the game on Stadia, but you don't get to play, you know, 4K quality. But you bought the game, therefore you like have the potential to do 4K quality. It's just because you're not paying Stadia for it, you don't get to use it. And that I'm not too much of a fan of.
They did not harm.
All right, so let's make sure I've got the right numbers for the arcane staff, or for the lightning staff. I think I do. Did look like it did quite a bit of damage. 28. I don't have the right numbers. Yeah. Okay. This actually makes sense. This 37 makes sense. I think I tested on orcs, in which case that would be the case. So 28. This is probably going to be different. This DPS is going to be different. So I'm going to put a line there and a line there. We'll have to test those out later. Okay, so our single target damage is 28 for the lightning staff, assuming it does lightning damage. And it should not do bonus damage hitting itself.
Ready to fight.
So, do arcane lightning combo.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates.
We'll see how much damage it does.
Broken through a
So,
gate.
20 damage from this. Whatever damage we just had from this.
Here's
but it should be amplified. So a little bit of bonus damage. We'll see if we can calculate how much that is.
Enemies at the rift.
Are we?
Okay.
They're entering the rift.
We'll see if that damage was bonused or not. Graphics are compressed to
They're
stream
almost there.
and local decompression. Makes it look really bad. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
We only have half our rift points remaining. Hold them back.
I know in the stream you can have it select instead of auto selection
There are
for
enemies in our rift room. The rift has been compromised.
how it looks, but I mean even me just playing the game, it looks, it doesn't look great. My internet speed's fine. At least last time I checked. Okay, so we see 53 damage. All right, does that make sense? Was it 28? So it's just in 48 if it was not bonus damage. We see 53. Okay, so it's a +5 damage for the lightning staff. Now what we want to do is hit it twice with the lightning staff and see if we get that bonus damage twice. So if we do, that tells us it's timed, which I don't think it is. I think it's just the next elemental damage like pops a bonus damage thing on it. The way the game looks, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the graphics right now. I've seen people play it on 4K. I know there's like another streamer maybe live right now playing it on 4K, and it looks pretty sweet. To be honest, like it looks good on 4K, but I don't have that ability, so I don't get to enjoy it quite there. Okay, so lightning plus arcane. +5. Okay. So if we hit him again, then what do we expect? Just another 28 damage? Let's try it. The arcane once, lightning twice.
Let's do this.
And we'll expect the first one to do the 32 damage or 33 damage, whatever it was, bonus. Yeah, 33 damage bonus, and then the next one to do 28 damage.
Are preparing to breach one of our gates. The door is down.
We are smarter now.
We will see if that theory holds up.
They're almost there.
Oh, there we go.
They're entering the rift.
Hopefully that wasn't, yeah, I don't think it was. It was within them being stoned, which is like 5 seconds. So,
Enemies at the rift. More enemies. We only have half our rift points remaining. Stop them quickly. There are enemies in our rift room.
An easy victory.
okay. I don't think we expected that. Right? So we had the 20 damage from lightning plus the would have been 33 damage. Right, which gave us our 53. How did we get to 85? Because even if we added another 33, Oh, we get to 86, I guess. There could have been like a decimal somewhere that didn't add up. But we would have expected a 28, right? We would have expected 81. But we got 85. Even with an additional 5, it should be 86. Now, I know 1 damage somewhere isn't accounted for because when you kill an ogre with, like the pillar of damage, the fire pillars or lightning pillars, it ends up doing 401 damage, not 400 damage. Maybe ogres actually have like 401, like everything has the base starting at the number 1 instead of the number 0. Maybe, but okay, interesting. Let's run this again. What I want to do is do 2 attacks of the lightning arcane just to see if they amplify themselves.
Prepared as always.
And that would maybe explain some of the bonus damage that we just saw.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm waiting for the girl to come up.
There are enemies in our rift room.
Oh. I goofed that up. I forgot what I was doing.
All right.
2 lightnings.
Play.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate. Enemies at the rift. They're entering the rift. They're almost there.
We'll see.
More enemies in the rift. We only have half our rift points remaining. Stop them quickly.
Ideally, lightning does 4 bonus damage against other lightning sources. And maybe it kind of acts a little bit like Arcane, how stoning acts like frozen. How stoned enemies take bonus damage from physical, whereas frozen takes bonus damage from physical and ice. So maybe it's in a similar fashion, has like this hidden debuff. 56. Is it on a spectrum? 56 with 2 attacks. Gives us oh no, 28. Yeah, okay, so no. So it shouldn't add up on itself. In which case, where did we get this 81 from? Or this 85 that we had? Let's test it once more, and I'm gonna have those attacks try and be as close, but no, that doesn't make sense. What else can we test? Can't do fire. What other weapons? I guess we could try the sword. I don't know if the regular damage... I don't think the regular damage does lightning. I think it's just the thing there. We do ice, yeah. Problem with trying ice is we have to find an enemy that's able to be stoned. Does not take bonus from Arcane, it does not take bonus from ice. And I can't think of an enemy that does that. Other than an armored ogre. Maybe? Yes, maybe an armored ogre. And I know just where to find one. It's actually the first thing that pops out. Let's see if he takes bonus damage from ice.
Sorceress, that thing you said about how it was
Weak against lightning.
innate magical ability like Vorwick?
You
That's
don't
it.
remember your childhood? Curing your mother's
Okay.
fever, teleporting the
Now the question becomes, how do we get an armored ogre to show up on Endless so we can see
And yeah, stuff kind of.
by 15%? Is that 15%? It might be a 15% buff, yeah. Well, see, I think you're probably onto something for the 15% because, you know, 100 goes up to 115 and you know, 20 goes up to 23. So I think you're onto something there. However, I don't think it's a duration thing. From what I just found, I think it's they get debuffed and then the next amount of damage they take if it's elemental is boosted by 15%, but once it does, it like triggers the debuff to be used up as if it's like a as if it's just like a thing that's on them, you know, like a reduction of armor or whatever, and then as soon as it gets used, they get the resistance back. We can test ice on this armored ogre, but we're gonna have to do something to make that happen. So that's gonna take a little bit of time here. Let me get that pulled up. It may kick me out of the game. Probably not. Switch accounts quick enough. And here I'll need to basically glitch myself into endless mode. Then I can test on that map with that armored ogre. So let me attempt to do that here. Stream might suffer a little bit since I'm going to have 2 instances of the game running for a little bit. So do bear with me. Also, that may have been a little loud. Let me turn that off. Okay, that's the second game instance. It popped up, so. All right, let me glitch myself in. Okay. Okay, that should kick me out. There we go. All right, let's test it. So the first thing we want to test is ice damage. How much damage does ice damage do? And again, I think I messed this one up. This was in the very beginning of my testing. I didn't really have everything figured out of what I was going to do. I actually don't think I want any of that. This I don't care about, the freeze duration. But the projectiles to primary attack, I think I don't want. And we can take a look as to why, but I think for each projectile added, because you go from like 3 to 5, 7 to 9 or whatever, I think it makes the primary projectile do more damage. And then the rest of them kind of like filter out the damage between themselves. So what I have on the wiki, I believe, is incorrect. So let me switch over to that. I'll have to redo the chain lightning headshot damage. This cannot headshot. So I said it has 39 damage. I don't think that's true anymore. We're going to test it now. Okay. So Secret Fortress. Yeah. So all we want to do is just attack them once with ice.
Let's begin.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. The door is down.
Ooh, that might have been more than one projectile hitting him. Well, we'll find out. We'll run this again. We'll see how much damage that did, and we'll take note of it. I'll have to look at that again. But I know that Arcane does have a duration, because you can see the purple around the enemy when it has the duration. But I think it just gets used up.
our rift room. They're entering the rift.
There it is! Blinded by the light!
More. We only have half our rift points remaining.
Here again, Cell Moon, what's happening? I'm testing some arcane stuff to understand it better and see what happens. Okay. So we did 43 damage. Yeah, I think that was two hits of the ice together. Because it's, yeah, there's no way. Okay, we're gonna have to retry and figure out. Unless he takes Monster Mice, which I don't think he does. I think we're gonna have to go farther away, maybe? Right, because they spread out. Yeah, we're gonna have to shoot from farther away. And hopefully hit him with just one projectile.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a
Okay,
gate.
that was it. That only, yep, one projectile. Good, 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 good.
Here they come.
Now we'll see how much damage one of them does. Yeah, this is gonna be a little rough, hitting him with both of this and that. But I think it's okay. Then we're gonna have to hit him twice with ice because I know ice buffs ice damage. So when we hit him with arcane and then ice, then the question becomes, we hit him with ice twice, and it is in fact duration and not like a stack thing.
Enemies at the rift.
Then they should be taking bonus damage from both arcane and from ice.
They're entering the rift. We only have half our rift points remaining.
Oh, I'm glad I'm revisiting all of this stuff because when I first did this, I didn't think about some of this stuff. So, all right. So we have 30 damage. Okay, so 30 damage it is. Cool. And now we'll do an arcane debuff plus ice. See how much it does. See if it is a 15% increase.
Yes, I am prepared.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. The door is down.
Okay, cool. Looks like it triggered the arcane debuff. And this is, if you glitch it, to be one of the hardest endless maps there is. Because the amount of enemies that spawn compared to the large enemies, there's so many large enemies that spawn in this level
Enemies at the rift.
that you just don't have a ton of money to deal with them.
They're entering the rift. There are enemies. We only have half our rift points remaining.
An
Yep.
easy victory.
So what do we expect? So if the thing does 30 damage and the arcane does 20 damage, we're expecting something over 50. So what, 50, 55 maybe? 55. Look at that. Okay. So okay. Nice. Plus 5. Okay. So now let's hit him 2 times with ice, see what that does. How much bonus damage the double ice attack does.
I'm ready to start.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate.
Oh, that definitely did bonus damage.
Here they come. There are enemies in our rift room. They're entering the rift.
Let's make a pretty good scenic picture.
They're almost there. We only have half our rift points remaining.
We were lucky this time.
$69 damage. Okay. So it goes 30 and then plus 9. Okay. We got plus 9 for frozen. So now we need to do 1 arcane, 2 freeze. Which I think would only do... We would have the plus 5 damage from arcane. Then we'd have another trigger with a plus 9 damage for frozen. I don't think that you would get the plus 5 arcane twice. Okay, let's take a look.
Let's do this.
Then I want to do ice arcane ice. See if that actually does the damage as well.
The door is down.
Okay, let's actually hit him. Oh, I think I hit him with 2 projectiles there. Hang on.
Yes, I'm ready.
I guess I could use barricades to force him into a spot.
Enemies are preparing to
We
breach one of
that
our
if we need to.
gates. The door is down.
Okay, there we go. So we only hit him with 1 projectile each time.
There are enemies in our rift room. They're entering the rift. Enemies that we only have half our rift points remaining.
For the order.
$100 damage. Okay. So with that, we've got our 20 normal plus our 60 from ice. Okay. Then we would have plus 5 for one of the ice amulets hitting with arcane. We'd have our plus 9 with frozen against frozen. So then I guess it does... Okay, so I guess it is just a time thing. Because then we'd have another 5, or it could be a decimal rounding somewhere. We'd have another 5 for our second ice attack affecting something affected by arcane. Okay, so it could just be that arcane does the duration. And that's kind of what we were seeing with the lightning staff. Because with the lightning staff when we attacked, it was another decimal like rounding thing. This one, what it came out as 1 lower than what it's supposed to be with the arcane, or with the lightning. What we thought it was going to be was actually 1 lower as well. So it could just be some sort of a rounding number or decimal that's getting put somewhere. Okay, so it's pretty safe to say that for the duration of arcane debuff, that all elemental damage does bonus damage. Very cool. Now, one more question. Do they stack? If I have 2 different arcane sources, do they stack? Let's give that a look. So we're going to use the arcane staff, and we're going to use Scepter of Domination. Sure. Those don't matter. We're gonna use both of those. We're gonna do that first to see how much damage we're looking at total for a base. And then we're gonna add the ice amulet to it and see how much damage bonus that does. Okay.
Yes, I am
Stuff you
prepared.
thought you'd never know, and I didn't even bring the arcane wand. Okay. Let's get that going. I'll put that stone staff, sure.
I'm ready.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. The door is down.
Nope. I think 2 of them hit it. Let me try and see if I can get a barricade thing, or maybe actually just do tar, huh? I should do tar. Let's do that. It's gonna take us a little bit longer to lose, but I think it's
Here's
okay.
where they will fall.
Yeah, that'll be okay.
Let's have fun.
Enemies are preparing to breach one of our gates. They've broken through a gate. Here they come.
Okay, I'm assuming I hit him with both arcane things. One more time. We're gonna retry that one more time because I don't actually know for certain. The damage looked like I may not actually have, but I know the damage for the scepter is really small, so...
Ready to fight.
Having such a distance between me and the door is... You know, if I don't hit him with one, I gotta go back to the other, and...
The door is down.
Yeah, I don't think I did. Try it one more time. I think one of them might have missed. Just get a better idea.
This should be fun.
I don't need to be at a range for this, actually. Because all I'm testing is how much damage I have in total after hitting with both wand and other wand. Wand and bigger wand. Okay, I guess I did. It's a very small slimmer of damage dealt. Okay.
My pride is injured.
We'll get him to speed up a little bit here,
I return at your hour of need.
so we can lose quicker.
Oh, snap. Oh,
Okay, that should be enough guys getting through to kill us.
They're almost there.
ouchie.
They're entering the rift. There are enemies in our rift room. We only have half our rift points remaining.
They did not pause.
So we got 31 damage in total with both, which is actually very interesting. Because the scepter does 11 damage and the wand does 20, which gives us a 31. The problem is one of them should be doing more damage than the other one because of the arcane debuff. So that's not a number we're supposed to see. I think maybe I attacked too quickly in succession, and so both of the damages were calculated before the debuff was applied.
All
Is
right,
my theory.
let's play.
So let's do that a little bit smoother. They say slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and I decided to go fast. Okay.
They've broken through a gate.
All right, let's look at that then for the answers. Does he point? Is he pointing? My turn? No, maybe not. Has his hand out. he needs the extra stability. Huh. Okay.
They're almost there. They're entering the rift.
All right, I think after we test on this ogre, we're gonna call it for the live stream, and then we'll come back for actually playing the game and not just testing stuff. I am curious because people have asked in Discord, asked Juice about it, and it's not quite a definitive answer exactly how this works. That doesn't make sense. That's not supposed to be there. That's why does it do 31 damage? That's base damage of both weapons, unless... Hang on, what does this tooltip say? Long range arcane attack. Okay. Long range 3-stage charged arcane attack with secondary trauma. It should be debuffing, but why is it not adding damage? Okay. What we're going to try then is the scepter plus this little wand thing plus the ice amulet. That is what we are now going to test. Because we know how much damage it's supposed to do. Matter of fact, I'll just put everything back. There we go.
Let's begin.
We know how much damage this wand does is 11. We know how much damage the ice does, which is 30. And then it should be plus 5 for the because of the arcane damage. Okay. Let's see if it still holds up.
Here they come.
So it should be 46 is what we're expecting. And if we get 41, that means that the debuff for the wand isn't working. For whatever particular reason.
Almost there. They're entering the rift. There are enemies and we only have half our rift points remaining.
GG, no rift.
$43. How would we get 43? 11 from the arcane attack, sometimes 12. The first hit's always 11. And then we get 30 from the ice aim. Should give us 41. So why do we get 43? There's the arcane debuff, but we've already confirmed that the debuff is plus 5 damage when attacked with the ice amulet, or plus 5 damage with arcane. Why does it 43? Interesting. I have no idea why we would get 43. What other options do we have here? We could do Flame Bracer on him. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. He has the arcane debuff. No, let's try something else. Let's try the Brimstone, the Arcane Brim. Because something that came to mind is that depending on the trap that does the debuffing... No, that's not it. That's not it. Because it is a 15% damage bonus. We know that because the Auto Ballista, when the Auto Ballista arcane damage hits something, it does 100 damage. And then if there's a second one, it does 115 damage. And then it just has that plus 15 damage bonus on it, I guess, for that 15%. So we know that the arcane debuff is 15%. And we know that it is, over time, just, it has a duration. The weird part about it is the freaking, the scepter. Why is that different? The arcane staff debuff works like normal. If that is true, then it works like normal. And the Auto Ballista works the same, and the Brimstone works the same. But the scepter doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty strange. But yeah, anyways, that's what we're gonna call today's or this morning's stream. I'm gonna eat some lunch, take the bird out for a walk, maybe hit the gym, come back. We're gonna stream some more. And of course, I'm gonna update the wiki as well. So look forward to seeing some fresh numbers on that as far as everything that we just found out today with the whole Arcane thing. And we'll be back playing some more Orcs Must Die. And I'll catch you guys later. See you.